Hello. I think maybe that should be it. You're a little quiet. What's it like if I try it now? It's still pretty quiet, actually, isn't it? I wonder why it's so quiet. I don't know. It is pretty quiet, unfortunately. I don't know why. Maybe we can sort that out. Is it indeed possible to sort it out? Is it better now?
Is it better now?
Oh my god.
Is it better now? Oh my god.
Right, that is a significant improvement. Well, mystery partly solved, maybe. And apparently the microphone gain was on 0. Right. Maybe that's it. If I was to talk normally now, how can we hear? It seems like it's okay. Might be a bit snowy. Unfortunately, there's not a huge amount I can do about that. Okay, pre-stream faffing is pretty much over. I think that should be it, really. Let's see if we can't do a little bit of artistic expression. Let me just change the scene here. Oh, look at that! What a fantastic piece of artwork we've got. So here we are. I'd say I don't know, we're probably verging on something like halfway, I guess. Something kind of vaguely like that. And we're getting through the block colour phase. I'm going to start putting in some more detail. I've already put in a bit of detail on the eyes now. They still look, well, I don't know, they're not what I want them to be, but they're better than what they were before, which is, you know, they looked a bit two-dimensional. I suppose if all it's really going to be is an avatar, then that's pretty much all that's necessary, because it's going to be rather small in most people's view. Anyway, let's have a look and see if we can do some stuff to do with the ears. We've got a few loose layers that we've got to clean up though first. I don't even know what that is. I guess there's nothing in that one. That's this one, that's part of the eyes. I think that these are all part of the eyes. Yeah, let's merge this one. What else do we have here? That's more eye bits. Turn the opacity down a bit. It's a bit too green. Yeah, that's better. This is more eyes. This should be more eyes. Oh, that looks weird. Right. Let's just rename these then. Orange, there we are. Up here, what do we have? Those are the eyes green. These ones are going to be the eyes red. These ones are going to be the eye black. Black, there we go. And then we have eye shine. And then we have another layer here which has nothing in it. So then we've got the hair block. And we've also got down here the skin block. I think that should be more or less it. We've just got these bits here. That's going to be the shirt block there. Okay, that's everything renamed. Lovely. What's next? We're going to be needing to put the colour in on the ears. So we're going to stick in, actually, well, we've got this helpful paint layer just here. We're going to call it ears block. Now here comes the real challenge, is we need to think about what colour would work for the ears, for the main colour in the ears. I'm going to say that it would be quite nice to put, I don't know, I feel like it should be the same sort of colour as the main part of the hair. It's going to be a sort of a purple colour, but we might go for something a bit more indigo. Something a bit more cyan, do you think, like that? No, that would look a bit too much. I don't really know. It's either got to be that or it's got to be something quite different, and I'm not sure which to do. Maybe we should just give it a go and see how it looks. We can always just recolour it, can't we? Yes, we can. We can always just do that. Okay, let's try it like this, I suppose. We can't lose anything by giving it a go. So, luckily we're behind the other layer, so this shouldn't be massively challenging. Let's just get everything blocked out here. There we are. We'll do the same the other side. Now, have a look first of all and just sort of imagine what this might look like if we keep it. I think I quite like it actually at first impression. It's horrendous. It's offensive to the eyes, and that makes it quite nice actually in a certain strange, horrendous way. Oh dear, no, it's not very nice really, is it? It's not quite right. No, it doesn't contrast with the hair enough, and we need something different in there. We definitely need something different. What do we go for? Why don't we try something red? Crimson, something like that. Crimson red. Crimson red. Let's try that. I've always liked the colour crimson. Always thought it was a handsome colour. No. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. Let's see. What about blue? We can always go for sky blue. Let's have a slightly desaturated sky blue anyway. How's that? Let's try that. That does work a little bit better with the colour scheme. It does work a bit better with the colour scheme. What else could we do? What else could we do? We could, of course, just have it the same colour as the hair. I think that could be... Oh, it wouldn't stand out much, would it? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I should check. I should have a look at a reference of some sort. Why don't we look something up? Let's take a look around and see what we can find. If we take some examples. Let's see what other people have done. Let's see. Oh god. Usually looks like the ears are primarily the same colour as the hair itself, and then the inside of the ears usually are a bit different, but no, it depends. It does depend. Sometimes it's different. Let's see what else we can do here. Yeah, it's usually the same colour, isn't it? So why don't we... Let's stick to the formula. We'll try going with purple. We will go with the same purple as the rest of my hair. Oh, it doesn't stand out at all. Not in the slightest. I wonder if maybe we could fiddle around a little bit. A bit of different colour. Sort of aubergine. No, it doesn't pop. It really doesn't pop. We need it to be... I don't know if that looks extremely sweet. It looks... I don't know. It just doesn't seem quite right. What else could we do? Could it like that? Could have them brown even. I don't know. We're just playing with the colours now. No, that's not right. It looks too boring. Sort of a golden green. That could be interesting. Oh dear God, it's horrifying. What about this? Blue again. Blue is one of the least offensive ones I've seen so far. Although, I suppose purple is less offensive than that even, but it's just boring, really. Why don't we... I don't know, we could try a shade of purple. I suppose that's alright. Maybe that would be okay. Sort of go with that. Yeah, I can imagine worse. I think we should probably just stick with that. Okay, let's get rid of these fields, and then we will continue drawing this in. So let's go all the way through the lines and the edge. Yeah, I'm eager to learn of other ways of doing this because it's really horribly inefficient. It takes ages, absolutely ages to do colouring this way when you're filling it in with the line art. I'd feel like a much wiser way to do it would be to do the colours as blocks first and then put the line art in over the top. Really would strike me as being faster, but that's just something I'll have to experiment with, I think, honestly. It's not really anything that I know about all too much off the first hand. It's just going to have to be something that we learn over time. Being as it is that I haven't done really any learning, any really on topic learning of what I'm actually doing, apart from doing it and just seeing what sticks, and just looking at what other people do and trying to imagine how they manage it, how they must do it. I do sometimes feel as though I've probably missed a trick by not doing some sort of course in it all, but you know, you can't always have everything, can you? I was terribly busy doing other things. Terribly busy. I was doing all sorts of other nonsense. Stuff which I don't regret. Stuff in university. Different things. Lots of different things. Oh, that's alright. I kind of like it. I think it's still fundamentally wrong. But it's less wrong. I don't mind it too much. It's alright. It's okay. Okay. What should we do about the eyebrows? Should we do them in the same colour? No, do them the same colour as the hair itself. That's probably more sensible. Let's zoom in here and we'll stick them in. We just go. Ooh, I suppose they should be on their own layer, really. Should they? Should they? Or should they be not? Oh, I don't know. No, we'll put them in the same layer as the hair. I can't think of any convincing reason why I shouldn't. There we go, there's some block colour in there now. Once again, colouring between the lines. You know, it's, I don't know, it's passé, really. We should have figured something else out by now. Shouldn't always be colouring within the lines. It's a boring way to live. Here we are. Stick those in. Oh, how nice. Now, all looks a bit robotic on the edges, so we're going to fiddle with it just slightly. We'll just make sure that it looks as good as it can, given the exact methods we are employing of making it. It won't always look perfect. You know that nothing ever is quite perfect. Okay? Like, as long as you want on something, it'll be once in a blue moon you really look at it and say, oh, it's perfect. And even if you do at the time, you'll look back at it in the future and you'll think, oh God, it's rubbish. But you know what, that's just part of growth, isn't it? It wouldn't really be valid stuff if we didn't look back on it and think how bad it was. Otherwise, well, we wouldn't have grown, would we? So that's what I've got to keep in mind. As surely as I will look back on this picture and think, oh God, it's terrible. That's actually quite a good thing. Shows a bit of growth. Shows that we've learned something somewhere along the line. There we go. Let's try and fill out some of these little errors here and there. Just make it all nice and square. Just exactly as we would want it to look. We trim a little bit off here and there just to make sure it looks okay. Yeah, so this fairly sharp line on the edges. It's only about 2 pixels of aliasing between the edge and anything else, so it ends up sort of looking a bit sharp if you zoom in right all the way, but from a distance it looks okay. Good, well I'm happy enough with that, I think. Now the next part should be, I suppose probably the eyelashes need doing. So we'll go in here and we'll try and figure them out. Do it above the eyes. Did I bother to name that though? No, I didn't. The hair block is fine. So, up we go, and this here is going to be the eyelashes. Right. In we go. Let's see now. I'm going to start off by just sticking in a black base all the way along. This black base is going to provide the background. I run into the problem here when you put blocks of black in against the brush I was using to make the line art, and it sort of has this odd effect. It looks like the this interior colour doesn't really match, doesn't really meld very well with the line art. And that is a factor that I have identified, and I don't like it at all. I really don't. The only problem is I think honestly the only way to get to sort that problem out would be through the use of a totally different brush for the line art, or to use a totally different system for the colour block, in the sense of having it less opaque, and that is probably the better idea, really. In this particular case, I don't really want to go through and do the whole line art again. I already had to do that with the hair, because I somehow managed to do the whole of the hair, all the line art for the hair, in the wrong brush size, which was pretty painful. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too eager to do that, honestly. I think instead, just carry on as we are. Now this looks rough as fuck, so we're going to just keep on with it. All the way around. There. And we're just going to make sure that it's as neat as we can get it. Because it's a little bit of an awkward clash of colours and brushes. So we're just going to do what we can. Just going to try and play damage control. Play damage control. All the way along. All the way over here. And there we are. Now that should be something kind of roughly more like what we're looking for, hopefully. Hopefully we'll zoom out and we won't be forced into a state of acute projectile vomiting upon beholding the nature of these eyebrows, which will be quite a disappointment. Quite messy as well, actually. I wouldn't like that at all. Here we are. Just carry on up here. There. No, I really don't like it, but we can always try to sort it out with a bit of creative fiddling in a bit. With a couple of other brushes, just to make it all... Oh, that's not right. Just to make it all look a little neater. Hopefully we can manage that. Be a bit of a stroke of luck. Be a bit lucky if we can manage it. But it would be nice. So down we go. Down we go all the way over there. Now there's a lot of points here that I don't like very much. There's a lot of points that I don't like very much here, which we're going to have to sort out. So let's zoom out and see what it looks like. That's pretty cool. I like that, actually. So all we need to do now is just fiddle it around on the edges. Just fiddle it on the edges. Just fiddle it about a bit, just to sort of give it a bit of depth, sort of a hint of depth to it would be good. That's what we really need. Something on the edge. Something out here on the edge like this. Yeah. It's not perfect, but again, we're only just beginning with this. Plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to fiddle with this sort of eyeshadow effect here, which I quite like, actually. I like this eyeshadow effect. Right, let's just try and get all of this into there, like so. It'll be quite interesting to do some effects over the top of it. I've seen a few artists do some very interesting things with stuff like this, and it's interesting to see what they get up to, actually. I quite like it. There's things I've seen of, it's almost like white lines going out from the eye into the rest. You're going out from the eye, through the border of the eye, through the lashes, and they sort of intercept together, and it just has this very impressive effect. Look at that! Oh my god, it's a glam rock star, and that's what we're looking for. That's the kind of look we're thinking of here. Okay. We're going to need to trim this down some more, though, because it's not exactly neat and tidy, I wouldn't say. So just trim it down a bit. Trim it all down. Trim it all down. There we go. I think I've seen worse. Okay, the next thing to do is a bit of a highlight, I think. So the highlight should be on this edge up here. Let's see what we can do, see if we can make something looks all right. Let's just see how it goes if we were to stick in a smidge of highlight up there. How is that appalling attempts at doing these things. Not to disparage anybody else's work, of course. I mean entirely in the sense that I have created more horrific things than this in the past. If you can believe it. Right. There we go. Let's try that. What's that we got from far away? Yeah, it's alright. Looks a bit smudgy though. Definitely a bit smudgy. I wonder if I can sort of smooth it all out just a bit. Just a bit. Just to reduce the gradients here a bit. How's that look? Just to make it a little bit less bitty. No. Well, it's not very good. It's not very good, but it's something. It's something. It's something. It's something. All these very harsh lines on the edge here, I really don't like them at all. I should try and smudge them out a bit. Just make them a little bit less extreme. That's a bit more like the ticket, isn't it? I think so. Let's just carry that around. Let's just see if we can soften the edges up here a bit. It just seems like it would be better just to have something a little bit less extreme on the edges. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I don't know. It could be alright. It could be okay. Could be okay. Well, it's a lot less extreme. The line is less harsh than it was before, and I think that's quite valuable. Probably better not to have such a harsh line on it. I don't know. It still hurts the eyes. This still looks quite sharp. Actually, somewhat afraid of fiddling around too much with it because, well, it could end up looking a bit weird. Then again, it already does, doesn't it? So we can't lose. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. That doesn't seem right, does it? Let's try erasing some of that. Try just softly erasing some of this. See how that goes. Oh dear. It's a bit too much, isn't it? Let's see if we... Let's get it back to roughly where the line art is, and that should sort of come close to what we want. Oh god. What a mess. Well, I think it'll do. Hopefully. Hopefully that'll do. I don't know. Let's try the other one. Let's try the other eyelash and just see how that goes. Now what do we learn from over here? We learned that it's extremely weird and difficult to do this. I don't know. What about just try a totally different brush? What happens then? What happens if we just try a completely different brush? You think it'll look better? I strongly doubt it. Oh dear God! What am I doing? What have I done? Oh my God! Look at that. Oh, that's horrendous. Okay, right. Well, that idea was brave and intrepid, but pointless. Okay, I think we're just going to have to do. Oh, that's the eyelash shiner. Let's just label it as such. Okay. Now. Eyelashes. Let's see now if we were to put this one into there. We're going to need some block colour. Now, I know it's a boring and silly way to do it, and it doesn't really look very good, but I am yet to identify a better way. How do we do it with this? Oh, I don't know. Doesn't really seem like it, does it? Oh, then again, maybe it'll be alright. Oh, it's less. Oh, well, maybe that is what I'm looking for, actually. It'll be interesting to see how this one works out if I use this tool. My contrast with the other. Just sort of edge all of this in. Just about as you would expect. Let's just get this one in here as a baseline. And conundrum. See how ferociously dark that is. There's no pressure sensitivity on it whatsoever. Just a little bit too much, really. It's important to have these pop, important to have them dark, but we don't want them to be too much. Too much would be bad. Too much would be very bad. Too much would be very bad. Indeed, is very bad. We've seen it look quite bad on the other one. On the other eye. Let's try just getting all of this in there. Oh dear. I'm very unimpressed. Why is it that this is the hardest part? Eyelashes. Unfathomably difficult body part to draw. Or to colour more. Look at that. What a mishmash. I'm not very proud of that at all. Terribly messy. Let's have a swig of water. Important to keep hydrated. It's 30 degrees in here, I'm going to die. Actually going to die. Cheers. Oh, lovely. I hope you're drinking something nice. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves. A nice warm evening. Relaxing in the sun somewhere. Or relaxing inside out of the sun, trying to avoid its deadly gaze. Speaking of deadly gazes, those eyes are quite formidable. I quite like the way that they are so evil. It's nice. Oh God, look, it's so bad. The bloody eyelashes are the worst. Oh, it'll need lots of work, that will. It's just not good enough. Maybe I'm going too small with it all, actually. Maybe I should just completely blow it out. Sometimes I have a habit of making things too small, too subtle, too thin, too little. Just go crazy with it. Just make really huge eyelashes and something like that. Maybe that would work better. I don't know. Well, at the moment, the only thing we can do is carry on. See how badly it goes. Not totally sure about any of that. Not totally sure at all. Oh dear, I'm becoming less and less sure by the moment. I was already pretty unsure about it. Oh God, oh God. Oh dear, I don't know, there's something profoundly wrong with this. There must be some secret art to doing this, which I'm just totally unaware of. Can just sort of, I don't know, at least we can get rid of some of this. So far, the strategy of just filling it up with block colour and then fiddling with it on the edges until it looks alright is the superior way of doing it compared to what I'm faffing around with now. Just in terms of efficiency, in terms of how long it takes to do something, which may or may not look acceptable, but nevertheless can be done. Just carry on. Just try not to worry too much. Worrying too much spoils things, it really does. There's no need for it. No need for it at all. I think there's a Beatles lyric, isn't it, somewhere? People rushing from place to place. Just wait until they discover that there's no need. carry it on all the way through. Yeah. And how do we get on down here? Well, a bit like that. And on the other side here. Let's just sort of normalise it a bit. There we go. And down that bit as well. Well, I can conceive of worse. I can conceive of worse things, I suppose. I can conceive of worse things. Let's see now, what's the next thing to do here? I suppose it would be to add in the shine on one side. Seems to be what we did on the other side. Well, there's an element of eyeshadow as well. Alright, we'll do some eyeshadow first. Let's put in a new layer though, just because I'm a little bit afraid of sort of ruining this, which looks alright at the moment. Eyeshadow. There you go. Well, make the eyeshadow bigger this time. Just put some considerable eyeshadow in there. There. Now that does look all a bit rough, of course. I'm fully aware that looks pretty rough at the moment. That is because we're not done. We're not anywhere near done. Not at all. So we want it to sort of blend a little with the edge of the eyelash. There. Just to... what that's going to look like from afar. Oh, look, it's much more impressive. Ah, I was right. You have to add in a bit more. Give it some more welly. I am very well guilty of doing that a lot of the time. Not making stuff have enough bang for its buck. Going a little small, a little restrained with it when there's no need. You can go big. Go big or go home. When it comes to eyeshadow, the more horrendous it is, the better it is. That's quite impressive. It does give a strange impression to it, honestly. It does look a bit strange. It does look a bit weird. So I feel that the eyeshadow ought to really follow with the contour of the face. It's not giving a very impression of there being a sort of a facial shape in play there. So we're going to fiddle around. I'm going to fiddle with it just a bit. I'm just going to do what seems to strike us as a valid course of action. No hard and fast rules with it. No hard and fast rules with it. I do quite like that eyeshadow. I think that's quite nice. I quite like that. I do. I think that's quite cheery. Makes a nice touch. And yes, indeed, we should increase the eyeshadow on the other side, definitely. Definitely should do that. Now I have, stupidly, I've included the eyeshadow on the other side in the layer of the eyelashes themselves, which is just a very stupid idea, isn't it, really? Oh dear, what have I done, Nick? Well, there's nothing we can't fix. Earnest application of elbow grease, anyway. Right, let's finish off those edges. There we go. Right, okay. Down into here now, and back on with the brush. Out comes the eyeshadow. There we go. Out it comes, like so. Out it comes like so. Now, ideally, we want to sort of follow where the contour of the eyeball would be. Of course, it's a very cartoonish eye, but do we sort of want to have that sort of state of plausible deniability and a sort of suspension of disbelief that there is actually a sort of eyeball shape going on here somewhere. completely sure how to execute that, but that's what we're going to try and do. Okay, let's start. That looks quite bizarre. I'm quite happy with it though. Actually, I think it just looks all right so far. Let's see now. Just move in here. Just keep on going in. Let's do a bit of smudging later. We'll have to do a bit of smudging. We will. Roughly the same size as the other. Oopsie. Be roughly the same size as the other. Which is maybe easier said than done, especially to get it looking nice. A smooth gradient all the way across. Maybe he's just not very good at doing his makeup. I think that's the most plausible explanation so far. He's just not very good at makeup, guys. He just can't do it all that well. Alright. Mascara has been applied, although no, it's still not looking quite right. It doesn't. It's not the same as the other. It's not symmetrical. So let's just put in a little more. Put in a little bit more. It's just a matter of careful control, really. I think also maybe I can blame some of this on the weather because it's so hot. It's so hot I can't hear anything. You know when you're so hot, you actually can't understand what's happening around you in an auditory sense. It's like the heat just destroys your brain and you can't hear anything. That's pretty much how I feel. Pretty much permanently, unfortunately, at the moment. To wit, something I heard ages ago. Fundamentally, as an Englishman, anything above a steady 22 degrees is manifestly far too hot and should not be legal. Right, okay, what do you think that looks like now? Oh, that's, yeah, it's looking kind of similar. Those are looking like two eyelashes that would be on a single face. How nice. Celebratory drink. Don't mind if I do. Oh, I've got some top quality orange juice. Really pushing the boat out. Okay, so there's just lots of little detail points in here now that I want to clear up. Like there's this spot down here, it's just not quite right. We can sort of sort that out a bit. There we go. Yeah, just a bit like that. And then that's more or less it, really. So I think that now we can just stick another eyelash shine in. On the other side. Let's see now. How indeed? How should we do this? Need to be in the right direction. Let me see now what that looks like from the other side. Go to this side. Okay, so it's horribly wrong in terms of its position. It needs to be further up. It needs to be much further up. Oh, that's a very, very strong eraser. Okay, I guess we're just erasing the whole thing. Let's try again. This time we'll keep a closer eye on what's going on the other side. I think possibly we sort of want it up there, don't we? And then we want one terminal part to be here and the other terminal part to be there, and then that. I think that would look about right. Maybe if we put it a little bit further down, actually. Just a bit further down. Here-ish, maybe? Something like that. would be getting there. That would be getting there. Let's give that a go. Let's see what happens if we try drawing that in. It's too thick. And the limitations of these brushes, aren't we? Yes, we are. Oh dear. Okay, no, that's distinctly bad. Let's try again. Oh, I've just lost my marks. Oh dear. Oh dear. All right, never mind. Raise around. Come on. There we go. Right now, let's try a different brush this time. In there. Oh dear, it's hard to manage that. Just briefly now. Yes, that's about right. That's about right. We just need to lower it down now. We need to make it an awful lot less. Just jump out at you and try to mug you sort of thing. Just to make it a little bit more restrained, ever so slightly more restrained. I don't know. Let's try that. I don't really know anything. Let's try that. Well, it's about right. But it's roughly in the same place. And I think possibly I should just do with a bit of flourishing. Just a little bit of attention. Here and there. Let's try that. Well, it's about right. It's about correct. I'm willing to live with it anyway, I think. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. We can live with that. Anyway. That's nice. So what's next now? I think probably we're going to need to be starting to look at this jacket. Let's try saving it first then. Yes, I do want to save it. Okay, now here we go. Now this is the thing with this jacket is that we need a colour scheme. And I know what that colour scheme is going to be, but we need to select those colours. And now this needs to be on top of the, I don't know, I should make it under everything considering where it is. And how neatly this rest of it. Yeah, that's alright, let's make it under everything. So if we make it under everything, let's put it here. Now, the thing to do is to go into our colour mix and we're going to select the colours that we want it to be. So, deep purple, a deep colour purple, that will be the first of our colours. First of our jackety colours, deep purple. Next one is an emerald sort of green. A beautiful sort of emerald green. And something that'll stand out enough. Let's try this. Oh, that's sort of like a British racing green, isn't it? It's emerald green, emerald green. Maybe I should look up what I mean by emerald green. It's a bit of colour reference for that. Emerald green, it's lustrous and right, well, all of these colour references of emerald green are wildly variable. They each one seem to display a completely different colour, so let's see which one seems. Oh, that's quite nice. I'll go with that actually. That'll be a good emerald green for us. Gold will be the next colour. Gold. Not always the easiest colour to select, I find. Sort of a lustrous yellow, but it's got sort of orangey tones to it, and it's so reflective. It takes on the aspect of wherever it is. And why don't we go with that? Let's try that. Stick that one in there. Okay, there we go. That's good. Purple, green, gold. It'd be quite nice to have red as well, actually, I think. Maybe we get that crimson back. You know, I'm willing to try that. Let's see what that's like. Okay, so we'll just do it in a colour pattern, a simple colour pattern on this jacket. Let's start off with this. That looks a bit more like a sort of rust brown, really. It's not really very crimsonish. Let's see what else we have. We're going to find a slightly more appropriate colour. Let's take it darker. And take it more intensely red. Take it darker. More intensely red. There we go, that's a bit more like it. No, I think that's possibly still quite wrong, actually. There we go. Now that's a bit more like crimson. Okay. Okay. Now the colour order that we really want to go with is probably not like this, really, is it? The colour order that we should go with, the most attractive, would probably be, I don't know, what order would these go in? What a challenging idea, what a challenge. I wonder what colour these will make from afar. Well, we'll go with one intense colour, then a lighter colour. So, the intense colour here, I'm going to choose first, is going to be this purple. I'm going to go with that purple. I'm going to take it into this, the jacket block. Now, it's going to be interesting to see just how impossible this is. I think actually possibly one logical choice would be to flood the entire thing with one colour and then draw the other colours on top. I can't think of any reason why I wouldn't do that, so let's do that. Let's just flood this with colour. Not impinging on this button. Avoiding that nicely. There we are. Lovely. Filling these bits out there. Very nice. Let's get this into a proper size. Colour all the way. Oops. And now all of that comes in here. So we have our base of colour that we can start off with. Very nice. I'm going to reduce the size and take it in over here. Once again, the torturous procedure of colouring within the lines. Nobody likes colouring within the lines. Nobody likes it at all. It's just so boring. So easy to make mistakes. Nobody likes that. Right. There we go. That looks ridiculous. Good. Okay, so the next colour is going to be one of the lighter ones. So we'll go with yellow. Yellow gold. Gold yellow. Hopefully it should look roughly gold. I don't know. Does it? Let's try lightening it a bit maybe. I don't really want it to not look like gold. Don't want it to look like some disgusting colour that isn't gold. That'd be horrid. I guess perhaps the point is that it needs to have highlights on it, otherwise it doesn't look very gold at all. Anyway, that's for the future me to do. I think right now we just need to put it in, so let's go with that middle gold. No, we won't. No, we won't. We'll go with the deeper gold. We can always do gold and effects on things you see later. Now we do the gold. Now we do the gold. Now, how should we do the gold? Why don't we try? Let's just see how it goes like this. Now, if we just stick them in here, the squares. Maybe we could do this with some amount of intelligence. Actually, it might be possible to do this with intelligence. Let's see. Look at that! Wow. There's a real possibility of intelligence with this. Wow, look at that. Right, okay, let's see. Let's see if we can't. In it goes. Ah, good. That saved us some time. Now all we need to do is just carry on that pattern wherever we can. Ah, that's good. I like that. Unfortunately, that's already going to fail us. Sad times. Okay. Also, doing this on the line art layer. We don't want that. No, we don't. We do not want that. And here, please. There it is. And then we go back to the line art. Phew, that was close. I nearly just caused myself an enormously huge headache. But I didn't. But we didn't. It's all right. Everything's fine. Good. Lovely. Fine. Now, the one down here also needs it to be put in. But we're just going to do that ourselves. So, because of my tendency towards only putting some of the line art in. I mean, who wants all the line art, honestly? Who looks at all the line art? In it is there, right? Lovely. Now, if we just box this off, then we should be able to just fill it. Not done that terribly well. There we go. Let's just neaten that up a bit. Okay. How's that? Reckon we can do that? There we go. Fill it up. Click it again a few times because it likes to leave a little line on the edge, which is a bit weird. Probably something to do with feathering, isn't it? Right. There we go. Right. Well, let's start. Carrying on. We're not done yet. Let's see. Going to be straightforward with it. We're not going to try any tricks. Not right now. Not going to be trying any tricks right now. But the devil is in the detail. We want it to be firmly detailed, a firm idea of what is where. That will give the right impression of what we're looking for. Let's just take this over here. And then we'll take it down on the other side. Here. Like that, roughly. Something kind of like that. Roughly being exactly the word for it. And we select an area in here and we fill it. Nope, fill it. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Now that should be kind of more or less alright. Just got to fiddle around with these rough edges. Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Let's just clean these up a bit. It's easier said than done, isn't it? Bring it up to the edge. From far away, that looks just like what we would expect it to look like. Fine. There's our gold. So that's a light colour. The next one is another heavy colour. It's going to be red. It's going to be red. Here. So now we take that. We're going to stick it into the next colours along. Which once again I'm hoping we should be able to use line art. Yes, there we are. And in fact, why don't we just do more bits than that and just get it done quickly. Oh dear, no, that's not what we wanted. Okay, we're going to have to do one by hand, but that's fine. Down we go. Need to label these. And then there we are. Red. It's looking quite horrific, but I quite like it actually. It's quite nice. In a sort of a very offensive way. It punches you in the face and doesn't apologise for it, and I can respect that. Let's move these layers around. Oh yeah, and let's rename them. So this is going to be Jacket Golds, and this is going to be Jacket Reds. And then continue with the whole thing. Also, I don't know how 3 instances of this have managed to open themselves. Krita is quite an enigma sometimes. Less of an enigma than that other thing I used was GIMP, I think it was called. It took me a long time to not use GIMP given how strange it was and how, I don't know, it just didn't seem to be quite as good as this. Not for art stuff anyway, maybe it was better at photography, I don't know. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Mirror. Looks fine. Are these the Rastafarian colours or something like that? I feel like I've accidentally made a national flag of some sort. There we go. And then up we go over here. Like that. Oh dear God, I've done something. Oh dear. Oh dear, I clicked the wrong button there. No, we don't want that. Okay. I wanted this, please. I wanted some green, please. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just stick this in here. There actually shouldn't be purple there specifically. That should be part of the cord. Oh, we're in the wrong layer. Always got to be careful of that. Gosh. Okay, that's better. Now we're in the green. Now we are literally in the green. So let's just get these areas done first. These are the bits that I don't think we'll be able to fill magic wand. Fill it in. Look at that. Easy as pie. Next one up. Now that one should be a lot simpler, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it? He says. There we go. And another. Another. Oh, there we are. That's what we want. That is what we want. Jacket greens. There. That is it. That is it, indeed. It's quite nice. And that does actually complete the colours. So we just repeat it now on the other side. So before purple is green. So we need green, green, green. And we're going to have to do... Ooh, this one can be done, probably be done like so. Yes, that should be fine. Good. Let's put the green in there then. Jacket green, please. There we go. What a sickening colour scheme. Oh dear. Okay. Jacket greens. Yep. In we go. Just like so. Good, 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 good. Reduce the size down a bit. There we are. All of this stuff into here. Yeah. It's all pretty straightforward. Nothing much to worry about there. I look forward to the day when we'll be done with all of this block colour and we can start doing some highlights. That'll be nice. Be very nice. Be a most entertaining way of spending our time. Oh dear, what am I doing? You're horrid. There we go. Now just follow along this line. Magic that up. Hopefully we can fill it. Yeah, it needs a bit of cleaning, doesn't it? But it's all right. Good. Now, before green is red, so we're going to do another layer of red now. Around with the layers, unfortunately, so I'm just going to have to be a bit careful. There we go. Lovely. Repeat it again. It is not a complicated game at all. All you have to do is repeat the process. Endlessly repeating yourself. It's like some sort of Strange old man. Lost somewhere in his mind. Thinks that he's talking to somebody. He's not. I suppose that's what I'm doing, really. I don't know if anybody's watching this, but I presume not. I think I'm alone. Well, thousands of people that are watching this, no doubt. Actually, that's terribly pessimistic of it, isn't it? Really, there are hundreds of people watching, and they're all just so astonished, they're so amazed, they just can't say anything, they can't think of anything to say. Right. Magic that up. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, get that in there. That's another bit done. That really does look horrific, isn't it? It really does. Good. Fine, though. That's all right. That's the look I'm going for. Now, there's a smidge of yellow here on the edge, so let's put that in. And I think, honestly, I might think about calling it a day. It's just far too hot. It's just inconceivably warm at the moment. Really is just horrid, horridly hot. Boiling hot, really. Oh, no, that's not the colour I wanted. Thank you. It's more like it. Take that colour, thank you. Okay. In we go. Put these bits in there. And on the other side. There we are, nothing wrong there. That's about what we expect. In fact, I think we should have another bit of yellow coming in over here, shouldn't we? Yes, we should. So, a bit more yellow, please. Yeah, why am I doing that? We can pretty much just dye these bits in. Dye them. Pour them. Do the thing. Do that thing that we can do. I'm just going to fill in this line here, so that I actually can do that, because it's horrendously frustrating to not be able to. Oh, that looks weird. Did that one wrong. In we go. Come on now. In we go. That's it. Now nobody would ever know the difference. Good. Now we just put that yellow in that we were talking about. So, oops, there we go. One. And there's one. And there's two. That's all that we need for the moment. So we'll go back down to the jacket yellows, golds, whatever I called it. And we take this and then we put it in here. No, yep, no, yep. We put it in there. There we go. That is what we want. That is what we want. Okay, now just go in here and fiddle around with it. Just make it all a little happier. It all looks, well, just about what we'd expect. There we are, right. Well, we're getting somewhere. Slowly. Very, very slowly. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Now, I think that maybe actually I think that this colour isn't right for the golds. It really doesn't stand out particularly well, so I'm going to try conceiving of whether or not we can improve this colour. Oh God, what have I done? Come on, improve this colour. Through the creative application of different tones. Let's see, let's try making it a lot brighter. I think that could work. like this one then. That's better actually. I think it's better than the slightly musty colour that we had before. Yeah, I like that. That's fine. I think there's too much purple in the whole thing though, really. We could change the purple colour on this, really, couldn't we? What other colour would work? Work, he said. Could do with blue, maybe. I wonder what blue would look like. Would that clash with anything in particular? I don't think so. Yeah, blue is a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a boring colour. Why don't we try it though? Let's see what it's like. Let's just get this up selected. And then, how about we try, let's just see what it looks like. Oh, I quite like that actually, I think it's better. Yeah, alright, we'll live with that. Go with that. I like the blue, the sky blue is nicer. Well, that's going to be an interesting avatar if nothing else. Can't wait to do something with it. Okay. It's too hot. And I'm very tired. Have to get up at about 5:30 every day. Because I'm a very hard-working person, apparently. I never would have guessed it myself, but I suppose it must be true. Oh. Okay. Well, as ever, to anyone who might be watching, have watched, or will watch, thank you. And take it easy. Don't strain yourself. I will see you on the other side.